Good afternoon, everyone. Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. I hope everyone's having a nice Monday afternoon. Again, it's Monday, and that means, again, we have our weekly segment. Again, we took last week off, but have our weekly segment with Josh Planos of the Better Business Bureau, talking about, again, ways to protect your wallet and keep you kind of on guard with some of the latest things that are going on. So we'll go ahead and we'll quickly bring in here again Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau. Josh, let me get your audio turned up here again so everyone can hear you. How are you doing, Josh? Again, how was your 4th of July holiday? Everything going okay?
Yeah, happy to be here, Bill. Hope you had a good 4th of July as well. The rain, I think, tempered a lot of folks' plans, but it made for a healthy yard, if nothing else.
My yard, I got a new sprinkler, Josh, and it's a smart sprinkler. Doesn't cover the whole yard. I don't have in-ground sprinklers, and so it kind of, it goes, and I had a very distinct semicircle in my yard of what was green, lush, and had been watered, and what was not green, and what was not lush, and what had not been watered, but now that's gone. So that's good news. So, we finally got some rain, but, rounding it back to, again, today, our segment today, talking about Prime Day, because tomorrow and Wednesday, I believe, Prime Day, and not even just Prime Day, Target does their Target Circle Week, Walmart does their Walmart Plus Week, I think, or, whatever it might be, and we're kind of watching out, again, best practices, tips to maybe take advantage of some of these days and take advantage of some of these deals.
Yeah, this week really is Retail Central. This is a huge moment on the calendar for retailers across the board. Used to be just Amazon, and unfortunately for them, I guess, other competitors are now looking to put out deals at the exact same time. Because of this, right, there's going to be a lot of money that's changing hands, whether it's digital or in person. So you want to make sure that you at least know some of those best practices to ensure that this experience is as enjoyable as it can be.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, the next couple days, and I don't know if you know the numbers, but I mean, I've heard it's basically like Black Friday in terms of the amount of deals and dollars and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about tens of billions of dollars. This is a huge moment. It really is not just. It's no longer a one retailer opportunity. This is really a chance to get deals that you really won't be able to see until. Black Friday comes up, certainly the holiday season shortly thereafter. But this is also an opportunity for scammers and unethical businesses to infiltrate that market because they know there's going to be an enormous amount of cash that is exchanging hands, and they're probably going to want to get a cut of it.
Yeah, 100%. So again, walk us through then again kind of what you guys are seeing, what you guys are putting out there again as consumers get ready to kind of gear up over the next couple days for these sales.
Yeah, so the first tip that we have is to look out for unsolicited communication of any kind. This is responsible for the vast majority of fraud that we monitor at the BBB. So you receive a text message, a phone call, an email, a letter in the mail from someone you don't know, providing you with a cut rate discount or an opportunity to secure a good or a service that is significantly discounted. In a vacuum, this is a wonderful opportunity. In practice, this really does, unfortunately, result in a lot of consumer money being lost to scams and to fraud. So it's not to say that anytime you receive anything unsolicited, it's a problem, but you want to do a little bit of research and to ensure that the opportunity that's been presented to you is real, that it is not, in fact, a ploy to gain access to personal and payment information. The second tip that we have is to triple check that URL to avoid lookalike websites. We see a lot of these pop up around calendar milestones like Prime Week, which is upon us. It's here. And so it's never been easier to lift and repurpose the work of someone else for your own design than it is right now. And because of that, you want to make sure, especially if you're shopping on mobile, that you're double and triple checking that URL to ensure that you are actually where you think you are and not in a corner of the internet where that sensitive information can be lost. So those are the top two tips that we have. But there's a heck of a lot more, and we want to make sure that consumers are as protected as they can be to enjoy the opportunities that are available to them this week.
Yeah, 100%. And again, there's going to be a lot of the marketing behind, the next couple days as well. So again, the ads that you're clicking on, the ads that you're seeing in your social media feed, things like that, kind of like what you just said, it's very easy to just take this, lift it, and then give it a bad URL. So again, being cautious in what you're clicking on, and again, checking those URLs, super important.
Yeah, I mean, it really just is a one character difference in so many of these unfortunate reports that we monitor. Popularstore.com versus popular store with an extra e.com, right? I mean, it's a very, very small difference, but it makes all the difference in the world when you're talking about the experience that the consumer has, right? So you want to ensure that the website is using the correct business name, the spelling, that customer service information is on the website. All of this is really important information, assuming that something doesn't go completely according to plan. You want to make sure that you are at least on a legitimate site. And so, with that being said, we'd always recommend that folks do their shopping on desktop if at all possible. I know it isn't possible for everyone, but it really can help you in that pursuit of the true URL or the URL that is easiest to identify if you are or aren't in the right place.
And this is kind of one of those things. Sometimes we talk about certain situations where maybe it's targeting one specific group, whether it be elderly people or younger people or a certain demographic. This kind of just cuts across all lines. It's super easy again to think you're clicking on something and not realize that like you said, there's an extra e, or the letters are just switched around or something like that. So this isn't just young people or old people. This is everyone.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these tips are applicable for a variety of demographics. Unfortunately, our data has suggested that those between the ages of 18 and 24 are the least likely to report that they have been scammed. That is incredibly alarming, given that this is a demographic that is spending a lot of time online, doing a lot of online shopping. And we want to make sure that people are at least coming forward with their experience if they see something, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to protect the community, is if folks speak up about what it is that they see. So certainly we want to make sure that folks are documenting the experience and bringing that information forward under the assumption that things might not go according to plan. The hope is, right, that everything goes smoothly, but the reality is sometimes things come up, and there's never been more landmines to dodge than there are right now.
Yeah, 100%. Again, the whole, if you see something, say something. Again, even if it's just a shady business dealer who doesn't walk you through a transaction, great. Let you guys at the Better Business Bureau know, so that way the next time someone's shopping for something similar, maybe they go to someone else who's more reputable, as opposed to someone who's not giving a consumer a good experience.
Yeah, absolutely. We exist to connect consumers with trustworthy businesses, and the way we can do that is by being informed when folks are stepping out of line. They're using disingenuous and unethical business practices to snatch consumers, and in a lot of cases, some of these businesses might be unaware that this is happening on their behalf. We see a lot of imposter companies. A lot of scammers impersonating companies like Amazon, because you've heard of Amazon, right? So in a roundabout way, it can be a compliment to the business that a scammer is masquerading behind its branding to effectively target consumers. We need to know, the business needs to know, and if you can document the experience, you can protect someone from having to go through it.
And again, you you always talk about this, again, whether it's concert tickets like we've talked about in the past or whatever it might be. Again, using a credit card or something, using some form of payment where you can potentially flag a transaction and have some means to try and get your money back.
Yeah, we are actually in the process of developing a program around peer-to-peer payment method best practices, because these are ubiquitous. If you've been on a college campus lately, you will see these everywhere. My understanding is these are widely used by a very specific demographic. The problem with this is you are authorizing these transactions anytime you are sending money to someone else. So regardless of if it's a scam, it's very difficult to ever see that money again once it's been sent. Same thing with cryptocurrency, same thing with prepaid debit cards. There is a reason why scammers are requesting payment with these modes of payment, because they know that money is almost certainly never getting back to the consumer. So don't make their job any easier than it already is, right? You want to make sure that you're paying with a credit card if you can, so you can dispute those charges, you can have a chance to get that money back, and you can feel a little bit safer knowing that there are at least some built-in safety nets with your consumer experience.
Awesome. All right. Again, biggest thing again with Prime Day, Target Plus, Target Circle, Walmart Plus. Again, probably the biggest thing you would say: double check the URL, make sure you're on the site that you're on. Correct?
Absolutely, and do your research. Right? If it's a new company, if it's a company you haven't heard of, do a little bit of research. Look them up on bbb.org to ensure that they didn't exist overnight, and that they have contact information so you can get a hold of them if need be.
Awesome. All right, Josh. Appreciate you as always for coming in and for joining us. Again, very good tips. Again, I know a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of shopping on Prime Day. I bought myself an indoor air quality monitor the other day, and it was an early Prime Day deal. So, and I got it, and I was good to go. I double checked the URL. So
happy to hear it. I hope it is useful for you.
Awesome. All right. Well, Josh, thanks so much for jumping in and joining us again. We'll go ahead and we'll talk to you next week. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. Again, that was Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau. Again, we always check in with Josh every Monday, again, around 2 o'clock for our latest streaming segment, Consumer Safety Spotlight. So, again, we'll clip this. It'll be, again, available on our YouTube channel as well as 1011now.com. So, again, if you missed the whole thing, you can go back and check it out. Again, as always, keep it tuned for 1011, both on air and online, for all the latest news, weather, and sports. Again, we'll have a live Crime Stoppers report coming up on Wednesday, and we'll check in with Flatwater Free Press on Friday and do a deep dive on their latest story as well. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and for joining us today. Again, I'm Bill Rentschler, and you can catch me on here basically every single day. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in and for joining, and we'll go ahead and we'll see you next time.